What should you take to the Total Archery Challenge? Let's talk about it. All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Zach here with Extreme Outfitters, your one-stop shop for all things archery and bow hunting. And Total Archery Challenge, the season is in full swing. So I kind of wanted to talk about some of the key things that we take whenever we go to these events. Because having good quality gear, reliable gear only makes the event that much more enjoyable. So we'll go ahead and dive right into it. So the first thing that pretty much all of the guys here take whenever we go to these events is a good bow case. So SKB cases are kind of our go-to. They're just rugged, durable, and the way they're built, they're perfect for the archery side of things, right? So again, fits the bow well. I've got a Mach 33 in here. The thing I like about the SKB cases that we carry is the way it's set up. So typically whenever we go to these events, we encourage you to have plenty of arrows, and I take a dozen for me personally. So it holds a dozen arrows here absolutely perfectly, keeps them retained whenever we're traveling, commuting. So when this thing gets thrown around in our trailer, bumped, there's no issues with anything inside. So the SKB case is incredibly reliable. I highly recommend you invest in a good case if you travel in general, and SKB is top notch. So from there, obviously, we have our bow, which again fits in the case nicely. And the thing about the SKB case is I like the way it secures the bow. So you've got your Velcro straps here. You can secure it in nicely. The bow doesn't move around. So if you have any of your extra cases or accessory pouches, everything is nice and secure. From there, in my SKB case, I typically keep this Easton arrow holder. And because my bow does not fit in the case with the stabilizers on, I put my stabilizers in this case. It just, again, keeps them secure and retained and not bouncing around here and causing any issues with my bow. One of the other things I highly recommend is a bow jack. So when you're shooting these courses, the courses are long, the days are long, a good bow stand comes in handy whenever you're kind of standing around waiting for your time to shoot. So whether you're running a Matthews bow with their leg system or Hoyt or whatever, you can always run a bow jack. I think it's just good to have in your case and keep on you at all times. So that's kind of what I keep in the actual bow case itself. From there, I move into a bino harness. A bino harness, I think, is probably one of the best pieces of kit that you can have whenever you're shooting the courses because it retains everything right on your chest that you need to access in a timely manner, right? So going through it, I run an Eberly stock bino harness. I like these because they're modular. I can build them out to my liking. As you can see, I run the main case right here, and then I've got a rangefinder pouch and I've got an accessory pouch. So going into it, you open this thing up. I like how it deploys down so it stays out of the way so you can leave it open. But I run my binos in here. I've got a set of GPO binos. These are the 10x42s. With the Passion EDs, I really like them, really clear glass. It's great for whenever we're glassing targets and trying to look at the vitals and the score rings. From there, going into it, I think it's important. I carry 2 releases with me at these events because I'm a long ways away from home. If one malfunctioned or I lose one, I've got 2. So I always keep 2. I typically keep a hinge release, which is my priority release, my number 1, and then from there I keep a Stan Onyx thumb button clicker. I like both of these. I shoot them interchangeably, but whenever I'm shooting the TAC stuff, I typically shoot that hinge. So they both fit in the front compartment there, nice and secure, so they're easily accessible. From there, because you're a long ways away, the courses are long, I highly recommend you carry a set of Allen keys. I always have Allen keys on me in case anything were to come loose on my bow, quiver, sight, and I've got to make do, stabilizer, mounts. I can tighten them down with this. Or if I need to make any adjustments in my release while I'm on the course, I can do that. So I always have that handy. It seems like someone always needs to borrow a set of Allen keys when we're on the course. From there, I keep typically extra batteries, right? So for my rangefinder, for my headlamp, for whatever else, I always have extra batteries on me. I keep this thing loaded with them so that I can swap them out as needed in case something were to die. Because the worst thing, you're out on a course and your rangefinder dies, you're using your rangefinder when you're sighting your bow in, and yours dies, and you got to rely on somebody else, the yardage could be off a little bit. So I always carry extra batteries just as a backup. From there, in my accessory pouch, I keep a headlamp. I always have light on me for just in case, you never know. So I always keep a headlamp in here. This is the same configuration I run when hunting. So the headlamp stays on me at all times. It runs on AA's. It's not rechargeable. I like that so I can swap batteries out fast and efficiently. Obviously on the right side is my rangefinder. So the nice thing about this is everything is retained. So if you let go of anything, especially if you're in a tree stand or whatnot, it's retained. You won't lose it. It's dummy corded to you and it's magnetic. So it flips up and out of the way nice and easily. So bino harness, critical. Always have a bino harness. I think it's key at Total Archery events. It just retains everything nice and securely to your body so you can access it very easily. From there, we move into a good pack. And I don't think you need an overly built pack for this, but I do think you need a pack that is reliable. And for me, I like something that isn't too big, right? Because I notice the more space I have, the more I feel the need to fill it up with stuff that I probably don't need. So this is a very old Granite Gear pack. If you guys are familiar with Granite Gear, we sold them a long time ago, probably 15, 20 years ago. And this is a pack that I've had for a long time that works perfect for the Total Archery Challenge. It's very low profile. It fits, it wears well, and I don't have to take it off when I'm shooting. It can stay on, it's comfortable for me. So there's a couple key things that I run in my pack. And this was a big lesson from the most recent TAC event that we did where I was a little bit unprepared, as I should not have been. I was just kind of lazy, to be honest. But always in my pack moving forward is rain gear. So I will always keep this in the bottom of the pack just in case, because these courses are long. You could be on the course anywhere from 3 to 6 or 7 hours. And the weather can change very fast, as we found out in Tennessee, where it went from a nice clear day to rain, hail, high winds in a couple of, honestly, less than an hour. So rain gear is essential. I would always have that on my person whenever I'm on the course, and just throw it down in the bottom of your pack. It's out of the way, it's lightweight. From there, I always have a rain cover for my pack, right? I carry some electronics and stuff in my pack that I do not want to get wet. So especially like if I'm carrying a camera or whatnot, I'll put that in a trash bag inside of the pack, and then I will have a rain cover to go on top of that pack just for that extra security to keep everything internally dry. So I would highly recommend getting a rain cover. We carry the rain covers by a company called Snug Pack. They come in all different sizes. They work great. They have elastic, so they fit around your pack nice and tight and securely, and then they fold up, go in this little pouch, and I typically just clip them onto the side of the pack. From there, one of the electronics that I carry is a portable power pack. So this is by Dark Energy. This is the Poseidon Pro. This thing is fantastic for charging any small electronics, even up to iPads and stuff like that. It's got a built-in light, so I've got a secondary light if I need it, and it just works really well. It's very resistant to weather. So that's the important thing about it. Obviously, I try to keep it dry, but this thing is fantastic for if you're on the course, long course, you need to charge your phone. Maybe you're shooting some video. Maybe you need to use Onyx to navigate out of the woods or the terrain. This thing keeps you in the game. So make sure you have that. And then I obviously carry my cables that I need to charge the specific devices. So another good piece of equipment, the Poseidon Pro, we carry it. These things are fantastic by Dark Energy. All right, from there, the way I carry my arrows for these events is I use a pocket quiver. So the way this works is I typically carry a half dozen arrows on the course with me. But this is made by Boning. It's their little pocket quiver. I put all my arrows in there, and then I slide this down on the inside of the pack. So my arrows stick up just like that. I don't typically run a quiver on these events. I do sometimes, but more often I opt for running my bow without a quiver. So I just run all my arrows in the pack like that. It's nice and secure. They're close to the body. They're retained really well, and it's no additional weight on the side of the bow. So that is, to me, it's a great way to carry your different arrows. It's just another great option for carrying your arrows on the course. There's a lot of guys that run tubes and whatnot, but this pack is not built for that. So they run right down the back side, and I can hide them securely in this little laptop style compartment in that quiver. I also, whenever I'm on the course, I usually have 2 water bottles. I just use the little plastic 16-ounce bottles because they're small and compact. So once I drink the water, I can collapse it and get it out of the way. Instead of having to litter or anything like that, I can collapse them down, keep them in the pack, and keep them on my person, and then throw them away whenever I'm done, or I can refill them. I also will typically run snacks in my pack, just usually like a protein bar or some trail mix, something small that I can munch on along the course, just to kind of keep me fueled up along the way. Because again, these courses are long. You're looking at 20 to 25 targets, and they could, you know, again, being out there 3 to 6 hours, it's not a bad idea to have 1, electrolytes and water on you to stay hydrated, and then 2, a snack just to stay fueled as you're kind of traversing the rocky and, you know, different terrain, especially if you're not used to elevation. We're here on the East Coast. It's flat. We get in the mountains. We burn a little bit more calories. It's not a bad idea to have snacks and then some way to stay hydrated. The other thing that I always carry whenever I'm out in the wilderness in general, whether it's on a hunt or on these events, is I have a Garmin inReach, right? So some spots, cellular data is kind of iffy, kind of spotty. The great thing about this inReach is I can typically send a text message or communicate with my wife back at home, or anybody I need to get in that I've programmed in here to reach out to using this satellite communicator. So it's great to have. And, you know, just in case there is an emergency, I have a way of contacting and reaching out to somebody. So I always carry that inReach Mini 2 by Garmin on me. It's just as a backup. You can never have, I don't think, in my opinion, a backup for communication is never a bad idea. Same thing with lighting systems. It's always a good idea to have, you know, ideally 2, in my opinion. So that's the pack I run. Again, you can see very low profile, lightweight. It wears well, very comfortable. It doesn't have a hip pack or a hip strap or anything like that. It's just low profile. I think it does everything I need it to for these events. I don't carry a lot, but I carry enough just in case, you know, I'm out there a little bit longer than what I anticipate. From there, I always have a good knife. I always carry a knife on me in general, but this is a Benchmade bug out. We carry these. The bug out, I think, is a fantastic everyday carry knife. It's very low profile, very thin. It fits and wears really well. So even if you're in athletic shorts, it's not heavy or cumbersome. It doesn't weigh down your shorts. I really like this knife for everyday use. And then finally, the last thing that I recommend that you need to invest in when you go to these type of events is a good set of footwear. So I've worn everything from Hanwags to Salewas to Lowas, and I now have a set of Crispy boots. They've all been fantastic. They've all been phenomenal boots. This is just my latest pair, as my other ones have finally bit the dust, and it was time to retire them. So I got these a couple weeks ago and wore them and have been extremely impressed. Again, I don't think you can overinvest in your feet. Get a good set of boots, especially for these events. The terrain is rocky, it's tough, it can be wet. So I highly recommend getting something that's quality, that's gonna last a long time. Along with that is a good set of socks. Invest in boots and socks. It's important, and it's only going to make your experience at the Total Archery event that much better. So that's it. That's kind of my general pack out or my loadout whenever I go to these events when it comes to getting on and shooting a course. That is a majority of everything I run. So I'd be curious, drop some comments, let us know what your loadout looks like for the Total Archery Challenge. I'm always interested to see what you guys do different and some tips and tricks that you might have for us here or other guys that are looking at going to the Total Archery event. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. If you need anything, head over to the website, extremeoutfitters.com, for all of your archery and bow hunting needs. I've got some descriptions and some links down below. So if you're interested in some of these different products, you can check them out, see exactly what I'm running. And if you got questions, drop them in the comments. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys in the next video.